Rich, I know it's a pretty hard question to ask, but how do you encapsulate that season and how it ends?
Yeah, it was disappointing, especially to kind of miss by 1 point. Essentially, is how I understood not qualifying for the playoffs. So it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I thought we worked extremely hard all year, and to come up 1 point short in the last game, it stings.
Where did you see the challenges for this team and where you guys did end up 1 point short?
I'm still processing a lot of stuff. I feel like it's best to kind of just reflect after the season and sort of organize my thoughts as opposed to shooting from the hip. It's fascinating that I would be sitting here talking like that, knowing my history. I like to let it fly sometimes, but I'm just proud of the way the guys worked. I thought we had a really good. I thought we had a lot of authentic team camaraderie, and I know that everyone in there, the coaches, the players are pretty pretty disappointed with the way it ended. But there's some positives to take, and try to focus on those in the short term.
You talk about season reflection. Any career reflection going on here at the moment?
I think that, based on my whole track record of my career, I've always been a year-to-year player. I don't think I've ever been on a contract longer than 2 years, and that's only happened a couple times. So I'm just proud of the effort that I put in, and I love coming to the rink every day and just leaving it all out there, having fun with the guys, and I tried my best this year, and I thought that it was definitely a fun year.
Do you want to come back next year?
Do I want to come back here? I think that there's a lot of things I want to do in my life, and there's a lot of a lot of interests that I have other than hockey. I think I've had, this is my 15th season. I love playing in Toronto, and I don't know. I think that I haven't, come in here today with any sort of plan set in stone or any concrete idea of what I'd like to do. So, I've been at this a long time, and I don't know how much I let on, but I'm, clearly a student of the game, and probably watch more than I let on. But so there's always possibilities of, working in hockey, and I obviously in my spare time work hard at, acting, and I think some people know that about me. So we'll see what happens, or I could come back and lead the league in fights again. Who knows? So.
Is it?
It would.
Yeah.
So.
Is it difficult to kind of face that next step and kind of make that kind of, because I assume for a long time you've kind of just known, I want to come back.
It's not difficult in the sense that I literally leave it on the table every day. So I could have walked away 7 years ago. There's been different moments in my life where I've, thought about doing something else. It's not difficult. I think that I'm just grateful that I've been able to play as long as I have. And then obviously everyone knows how I feel about this organization. The last 7 years have been, a blessing. And I don't know, I'm going to push myself athletically until I'm dead. So I feel great. My body feels great. The motivation has always been there, which is probably a torturous thing. I don't think that's ever going to go away. So yeah, I could. There's a number of different things I could do and want to do. I don't have a plan right now, but that's about it.
What did you enjoy most about being a captain this year?
I think that just seeing the day-to-day like improvements on just the team as a whole, and seeing a lot of the things that probably nobody sees other than people that are inside the room, and that extends to the players, staff members, and all that. We just had so many fun moments, and some of them leak out into the public. And it's just the day-to-day stuff, like the narrative that goes on in people's lives. And could probably have a reality TV show on this team specifically this year, and it is fun. There's a lot of ups and downs, and some days are crazier than others, and it's just I can take so much from this year of good, bad, and different, and yeah. And I really think that we had moments where we worked extremely hard and had games that I think were some of the best games the Marlies have played in a few years. I look back to a game in Lehigh Valley where we were challenged extremely physically by the other team, and the way we responded, I was so proud of the way that we came together in a moment like that. And there's other moments I can refer to, which obviously makes the ending sting that much more, because I know we had potential and I know we were a good team. But that's life, right? That's hockey. You just you move on, and that's it.
When you look back at this team in particular, like what is one of the moments, or maybe not one of the moments, but just what stood out about this team that made it so special?
Well, I think that something that made it so special was the eclectic and vast group of personalities that all sort of came in together at the beginning of the year. Tons of new faces. And it wasn't like there was, like some continuity from years past where you come in and you sort of pick up where you left off. From where I was standing, this was like a whole new group with tons of new players, a lot of youth, and to see that sort of just take shape, I would say that's probably the most change I've seen in a team from start to finish. You go through different phases in a season, and with the work that needed to be done with this group, and to see all that come to fruition, that was probably, my favorite thing.
When you look at maybe Greg Moore coming into his first full season, a lot of guys talked about how he was a different type of coach. He was more personable. How did you feel he was as a coach throughout the whole year?
Yeah, I think, Greg coming in and the position that he was sort of thrust into in his first season, it's probably the most adversity I've seen a head coach deal with, especially in their, cutting their teeth at the pro level, and to watch his sort of evolution and finding his voice and discovering kind of his own identity in the big picture, right? Greg's extremely young and new as far as a coach goes, but just to see him endear himself to the players at different moments in different ways was cool to watch. And he brought a completely different perspective on the game of hockey that I'd been accustomed to. So I found myself learning things, well into my career, right? Like I referenced earlier, I've been around a little bit, and I learned a lot of new things from him. So I think he's got great potential, to have a long career as a head coach.